Besides the automatic controls, GeneXus Next includes in generated applications, sometimes applicants need to perform specific checks. For instance, they might request that the system prevent the input of products that lack a name, or that it simply warns the user if they did not enter the price. To define controls of this type in a transaction, rules are used, which are used for assigning default values and establishing data validations, among other functions. These rules are written declaratively and can involve attributes, variables, and functions. But let us utilize the GeneXus Next Assistant, Nexa, to make this task easier for us. Let's ask it then to display a message and not allow the user to continue if the product name is left blank. The assistant tells us the validation is set in the product transaction. And if we check the rules section, we see that it added an error rule. This rule serves to prevent the user from confirming the transaction while the condition is met. Meaning, in this specific example, as long as the value for the product name attribute is blank, the user cannot confirm the transaction to insert the new product. Let's execute. The new definitions in the knowledge base will be saved and evaluated. In this case, it will be deduced that it is not necessary to modify the database, so it won't show an impact report. The required code will be generated, and then it runs the updated application with the new definitions. Let's execute the product transaction. Let's try to insert a new product leaving its name blank. The assistant's error rule will execute. We now require it to merely alert the user if the product price field was left blank. For this behavior, there exists a rule designated as MSG, whose syntax is almost identical to that of the error rule. And its only difference is that, when the condition is satisfied, the message is displayed to the user as an advisory or a warning, without forcing them to enter the value, allowing them to confirm the transaction so that the product is entered into the database, whether they entered the price or not. Let's ask the assistant to implement this rule. Let's run it to observe how the MSG rule behaves. We could have asked the assistant first for the control over the price and then over the and the result during execution time would be precisely the same, because GeneXus analyzes and decides the precise moment each defined rule should fire, regardless of the order in which they are written. This was just an introduction to the topic, but there are many more rules available to define different types of validations and actions.